Hi, my name is Attorney Walter Rudolph Hnot III, and I'm with Disability Resolution PA. What we're going to be doing is going over some of the ambulation assistance tools that you can use as part of your disability benefits. So if you're thinking, okay, cool, what orthopedic devices or ambulation devices can I use to go ahead and show that I truly am the disabled person that which I'm claiming I am, then these are going to be those tools. So let's go ahead and start off with those. For example, do you need a forearm crutch? Okay. Do your arms get numb? Do your legs get numb? Do you have shooting pain in your back? Do you have shooting pain in your knees? Questions you need to ask yourself. Do I need 2 forearm crutches? Okay. Do I sweat heavily? I can't grip things well. I have poor balance. I, in general, just need a crutch. Okay. What about how well you do over uneven ground? Uneven ground is part of the statute. How about even ground? Now, if you're not sure what uneven ground is, imagine you're walking in the woods and you come to a small log. Imagine that you're walking over a curb, things like that. That's uneven ground. Okay, or it could just be really chopped up ground. All right. Swelling in the legs. Do you have swelling in the hands? Do you need 2 crutches? Do you need to have a wheelchair? Do you have muscle problems, poor coordination, poor vision? Do you have bone problems, blood flow issues? Do you have neurological problems that cause you to have difficulty with ambulation? Do you need a cane? Can you keep up while walking with others? Do you get tired easily? Do you have to stop and slow down, take a break, and then restart after you've rested a bit? Okay. Do you have to use a walker? Do you get tired and trip over little things? Do you get tired and trip over larger things? Does your foot catch on things? Are you dragging your foot? Are you able to walk up steps? Are you able to easily walk through rain? You know, a lot of people have walking issues when it comes to rain because they slip and slide all over the place because of how they use their feet. Are you able to walk over a sidewalk and then come up to a curb and easily get over that curb? Are you able to walk on grass? What about thicker grass? Would you have difficulty lifting your feet up high enough? Do you have difficulty on inclines? Let's say you go up to a loading ramp, okay? And then you can always talk with your attorney about the different percentages of how much of that loading ramp you'd actually be going up, okay? Do you have difficulty with, wearing a cast? Are you currently in a cast? Are you expecting that the cast will come off? Things like that. Do you have difficulty with general maneuvering, moving around, being able to move your body to be able to get to the target area that you need to be? So think about ambulation, the walking part of this, as, how you're trying to describe how you have a difficult time getting from point A to point B. Now, when it comes to disability benefits, the main focus of this whole system is to show how you have a severe functional limitation based upon your severe disabilities, or a combination of multiple disabilities that equate to a severe functional limitation. So what we're looking for here is, what can we show with some sort of proof, prescription for a crutch, whatever, that we have difficulty getting from point A to point B. And the main focus of this is that there's subjective evidence, there's objective evidence. We're looking to try and get some sort of objective evidence that could be submitted to the court. Now, a lot of these ALJs, as time goes on, seem to be eroding what they believe is objective evidence. For example, a doctor's testimony that you would need a cane to some ALJs is objective evidence. To some other ALJs, it is subjective evidence. If you're not sure what the difference is between objective and subjective evidence, just go watch that video. But bottom line is, you want objective evidence when you can have it. So the bottom line with this situation, when it all comes down to it, is you really have to start to think about how you can collect information with your attorney to show that you truly do have difficulty walking. Because if you have difficulty walking, it's unlikely that you're going to get to a car to get to where you need to be for work. There's not a ton of DOT jobs that are listed because, remember, it was written way back in the day and it hasn't been updated since, I think, 91. There's not a ton of jobs listed that basically are stay-at-home jobs. In fact, most jobs, the whole computer technology yada yada thing, that didn't really happen that much during the DOT's composition and updates thereafter. So what we want to look at is, okay, how are you going to get to your job? Is it going to take you a lot longer to be able to do the job? And we're starting to put those roadblocks, or those little moguls, those little bumps in the road, as to how you would be physically capable of doing a job. Now, I know that you're thinking, let's talk about the light work versus the sedentary work. Light work, classic 6 out of 8, is going to be essentially where you're, light work is you're standing and or walking for 6 out of 8 hours. You're sitting for 2 out of 8 hours. And then, of course, you've got sedentary, which is you're sitting for 6 out of 8 hours, walking or standing for 2 out of 8 hours. We also have to look at the analysis of how much time you're off task. If you're off task more than 10%, usually you get fired. That blows my mind, but I know some of my employees are off task, 10% or more, and then I have to go and do an audit review of them and yada, yada, yada. So the point here is to show how you're going to be off task more than 10% of the time. Start to think about that. How do I prove that I could not do the work that another person could do without accommodations because of my limitations when it comes to ambulation, right? That's what we're talking about here. Okay. So we've talked about house cleaning difficulties. We've talked about, sorry, not house cleaning. That's the next one we're going to be doing. Ambulation assistance tools. Now, we didn't go into specialized shoes. Specialized shoes, for example, pertain to orthopedic shoes, shoes for diabetics, things like that. A lot of people have swelling in their feet when they have blood flow issues, if they have some sort of cardiovascular issue, ventricle issue, whatever. And it's not getting all the way down there to be able to assist them. So I want you to think about shoes, braces on your legs, all kinds of things like that that could be of assistance for your disability claim. Use these in majority with your musculoskeletal 1.0 base category listings. Now, if you're not sure what a listing is, you're not sure what the 1.0 category is, that's fine. Just go ahead and watch a video relevant to that particular information. All right. So this is what you should be thinking about how you can prove that you have ambulation assistance, requirements in order to be able to do some sort of vocational tasks, which you couldn't do up to SGA levels. Now, if you're not sure what SGA means, it's substantial gainful activity. That's the limit set up by the SSA per year, changes every year due to COLA, cost of living adjustment, in order to go ahead and show how essentially you are capable of working. So if you can earn over SGA, cool, you're good to go. You're not disabled. If you can only earn less than SGA, then you are basically found disabled. That's the vocational allowance. So that's how that works. All right, now we've talked about ambulation assistance tools. There are other ones as well. I know people have brought up to me, well, I always have to use a disabled cart when I go to shopping, shopping at Walmart or Target or whatever. Yeah, but there's not really a lot of evidence that can be utilized, especially when it comes to objective evidence, that is necessary for you to, on a daily basis, utilize that for a vocational position. And for that reason, that's not some of the best evidence you could bring forward. Other things that have been brought forward to me are, okay, so I have to park in the disabled handicap. Sure, bring forward disabled handicap notification and documentation to show that you are limited in your ability to go ahead and walk, and that the state recognizes that. Other things, such as one that I really like, but a lot of people don't have, is where their van is set up for basically. And it's not just, a walker or a wheelchair. It could be a lot of things, but usually it's set up for a wheelchair scenario to go ahead and be able to utilize a lift to be able to get you in and out more easily. So that's kind of how that works. Other things that you need to know about ambulation, it's so important. Oh, it's so important. If you can't walk to get to a bus or a job or whatever, then the bottom line is you're very unlikely to be able to do the job at hand. If you can't, be able to get to a different station or do a job where, they're moving down a line, you have to physically get the parts from point A to point B, like pretty much any light job is really heavily, based upon your ability to ambulate properly. And I know what you're thinking. There's all these different types of ambulation. We're going to do another video on that because that's more terminology from the medical field that a lot of you guys are going to get lost on. So I want to break that down into each thing. But for right now, making it simple, ambulation tools. What are ambulation tools? They're things like wheelchairs, walkers, crutches, canes, braces, shoes, etc. Orthopedic devices are included in this, and your ability to be able to walk. And remember, what they're looking at is how far can you walk? How far can you walk with those ambulation-based devices? And if you still can't continue to go forward at a good pace, and you have to rest a lot, then you're going to be off task quite a bit. All right. My name is Attorney Walter Rudolph Hnot III. I'm with Disability Resolution PA, an Orlando, Orange County-based Social Security disability law firm. If you're wondering who I am, what I do, all that stuff, check it out in the area below where I put all the information. If you'd like a custom video in the future, we're going to set up a list on the website for people to blog in which videos they'd like me to make next. And then we'll just kind of go from there. All right. 407-279-1754. If you'd like custom video, let me know. And if you'd like the most up-to-date information, that's fine. Give me a call. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.